안녕하세요. 시청자 여러분. Picks to watch 오승열 환영합니다. Worlds is upon us, and with it comes some fun and interesting champions, along with some pretty talented pro players that will be accompanying them. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. With a dominant 9-1 record so far this split, the world's best Pike Hecarim should be bringing out the Blood Harbor Ripper to help Fnatic sink the competition.
Sink 'em all.
Thanks to the high mobility afforded to him by Ghost Water Dive, he can roam all over the map and look for opportunities to land a catch with a perfect harpoon. He can even pair up with junglers to scout out the enemy jungle and go fishing for some easy picks. His kill potential is notorious in lane, especially when he's fighting alongside partners who can pack a heavy punch that can fully utilize Pike's Bone Skewer and Phantom Undertow combo to drag their enemies to Davy Jones' locker. Pike's late game demands respect as he scales remarkably well with AD items, plus the damage on his ultimate means that it's never safe to turn your back on Pike. Split pushing is one of the things that makes Hecarim's Pike so unique. Hecarim utilizes the Baron buff to build up massive waves of minions, and his presence makes it difficult to clear the waves because of an airborne skewer could be just moments away. Plus, his high mobility makes it easier to join up with his buddies if the enemy team decide to force the issue elsewhere. Hecarim likes to rush Boots of Mobility, followed up by a remnant of the Aspect and then a Ghost Blade or Frozen Heart depending on the game. Remember that it's important to make Pike's roams count, because any time spent away from your laner is an advantage for the enemy if your bait comes up empty. What's Worlds without Uzi, and what's an Uzi without Vayne? The elusive monster hunter has gained popularity around the world as a direct answer to Kai'Sa.
I bring swift death.
And since Kai'Sa is largely unable to punish it in lane, Vayne can hit those critical item spikes faster and turn that momentum into Silver Bolt beatdowns. Vayne's also considered a strong duelist against Kai'Sa in the late game, thanks to the invisibility granted by her ultimate and her ability to condemn Kai'Sa away if the Icathian rain starts to pour. The outplay potential on Vayne is just about limitless, easily able to turn a lost fight into overwhelming victories. The self-peel from Condemn keeps her safe without backup, and with a skilled pilot like Uzi at the helm, she can tumble in and out of fights on the fly while turning her enemies into bolt-filled pincushions. And if any of the impure fools manage to limp away, she can use her bonus movement speed to track them down and finish the job. Uzi goes for a crit-focused build by grabbing a Blade of the Ruined King first, and then transitioning into a Phantom Dancer before topping it off with an Infinity Edge. This build has huge late-game damage, but you've got to have patience to get there. If that's not your style, you can always pick up a Guinsoo's Rage Blade for quicker Silver Bolt stacking. It's important to keep in mind that Vayne offers zero early game pressure, and her short range plus limited crowd control mean you should avoid early skirmishes at all costs, or the Night Hunter will become the Night Hunted. Next up, Cloud9's Licorice should be seen galloping his way onto the world stage with none other than Hecarim.
Send me to battle.
Licorice brought out this pick as a direct response to Haunter's Aatrox. The C9 top laner considers the Shadow of War to match up well against Aatrox due to the sustained damage output from his Rampage. Add in Aatrox's long cooldowns during the laning phase, and that means there's plenty of windows for Hecarim to outtrade him, then crush him underfoot. On top of that, buffs to Hecarim's healing in patch 8.7 gave him just the bump he needed to help him turn the tides of the sustain war. Thanks to his ability to canter around Aatrox's predictable skill shots, combined with the bonus movement speed of Phase Rush, Hecarim will not simply be stable. Hecarim's known for being able to trample down any foe that ends up in the path of his devastating charge and Onslaught of Shadows combo. If it's followed up by other engage options like the Galio and Nocturne that Cloud9 ran in the Gauntlet, it becomes easier than ever to get into the enemy backline and break their ranks. It's important to note that Hecarim isn't a one-trick pony, so it's not out of the question that we could see Predator Hecarim in the jungle as well. But as far as top lane Hecarim goes, Licorice likes to take a Corrupting Potion for the lane sustain, and from there he rushes Trinity Force into Hysterics Gauge, followed by a Spirit's Visage and Dead Man's Plate. If you choose to run it like Licorice, that is to say without a flash, you'll be vulnerable to being dived. That means support from your jungler and good early vision will be key to not falling off your horse. With world-renowned top laner Smeb making his way back to Worlds, we might just be treated to the master of Suave, Class, and Debonair, Jace.
I fight for a brighter tomorrow.
The Defender of Tomorrow does well into tank matchups thanks to the wave clear from his Shock Blast and the range advantage its Mercury Cannon gives him. As games go on, Jace outscales tanks in the side lanes as a full rotation of spells paired with the percentage HP damage from Thundering Blow is often more than enough to cut them down to size. Jace can also deal a shocking amount of damage against stacked resistances due to the percent-based armor and magic resist shred he gets when swapping to the Mercury Cannon. While it's true that Jace really styles on his foes in side lanes and can power slam in 1v1s, he can also light his team's path through a teamfight. Not only does his acceleration gate act as a nice supplementary engage or disengage tool, the electrifying damage from his shock blast acts as effective poke. Jace truly fights for the future, as a chunk of damage onto an enemy carry can make follow-up engages much easier for his team. Smeb demonstrated this beautifully against Griffin, and when it was time to make a stand, his precision aim helped KT deny Griffin the Baron. Smeb has showcased a wide variety of builds on Jace, but normally opts to energize his damage with a lethality build that includes Ghostblade, Duskblade, and Black Cleaver. Alternatively, a Blade of the Ruin King build will help you come out on top of duels when it's hammer time. Regardless, he always rounds out his build with a Guardian Angel that gives him one more chance to bring the thunder. Remember that Jace has to be ahead to be effective, so resources have to be poured into the top lane early game, or your Jace might look like that it came from NA. That does it for this episode of Picks to Watch. Be sure to go down into the comment section below and let me know what champions you're excited to see as Worlds kicks off with the playing stage on the 1st of October, starting at 1 AM Pacific, 10 AM Central European Summertime. Thank you very much for watching. Annyeong Kaseo.
Okay, but what about the classic?
Of course. All right, let's go. Pretty good, right?
Sure.